Good morning, everyone, and how are you today? Blessings to you and yours, and we thank you so much for joining us inside the Diana Wright Show Live. Well, now, exceptionalism is the word for this year. Apart from I love me, certainly, we want you to remember that April 30th is International I Love Me Day. So we thank you for marking that down on your calendar, remembering it, and also the other big word for this year is inequality. Inequality. Have you heard that word a million times? Aren't you tired of hearing that word? Are we going to put some action behind that word? Instead of having people like Senator Rand Paul talking about if Senator Clinton decides to work or to do her thing, as in running for president in 2016, or we should just stop and investigate Bill Clinton. Because I think he's trying to turn over that crazy stuff that Mike Huckabee said last week. Oh, women, did you realize that you're all overactive in your sexual libido? Did you all realize that you're oversexed and that's the reason you get pregnant? Conservatively, I do believe that women should preserve themselves for marriage, yes. Especially today when young people, young women have so much information. Everything is in their face. They have the internet and they have everything to their fingertips. So they should be able to realize that what God gave them is their gift and they should preserve it. Yes, I believe in that conservative thought. I also believe that the black family needs to have two parents in it. Yes, conservatively, I do believe that. But I don't buy into the fact that poor people are poor because they're lazy, according to Mr. Larry from the Shark Tank. How do you get to that place? Is it by opportunity that we move from the ghetto to Wall Street, maybe? From the slums to the boardroom? From the ghetto to the boardroom like Jay-Z and all those other brothers? Every single person on this planet simply need a chance, an opportunity, someone to take them. Like the man on 60 Minutes last night who explained how he started the organization to help those who simply don't have an opportunity. And yes, when you get that opportunity, you must be able to have the proper work ethic. You must be on time, because if you're not on time, if you're not displaying the right ethic, you're going to be kicked out of the program. So should we buy into the fact that poor people are just all lazy? I refuse to accept that, and I hope you refuse to accept it also. And as we get prepped for President Barack Obama's next State of the Union tomorrow, inequality again is the big word. He's calling this the year of action. I would simply want to see some action behind the word inequality. Like raising the minimum wage, like dealing with a jobs plan to get people out of sleeping out in their cars and get them back in jobs so that they can regain their self-respect, their self-confidence, and their self-esteem. Yes, This is the United States of America. We have businessmen talking about writing open letters to say that the 1%ers are being attacked. I hasten to believe that no one is being attacked. Everyone just needs to see just a glimmer of fairness, a glimmer of hope for those who are still sleeping in their cars, lost their homes, unemployed, and yet they're being told every day, you're worthless. So why don't we think that they're exceptional? Aren't we all just a paycheck away from being homeless too? No one envies the rich for what they have in Silicon Valley and around the country and around the world. But when you have the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, every year in January it happens, and it happened last week. It came to an end over the weekend. And when we see the wealth, and of course the amount of women, minuscule. So the men still rule the world. So when are these men going to stop talking about inequality and do something about it? We will see and hear what the president plans to do with his executive powers. We see that Jamie Dimon is part of the program to help those little kids who have dreams, big ones, small ones. As one young man said, all he was trying to do after high school was get a job at a supermarket packing bags. And he couldn't get that job. But now you see that he's gotten the opportunity. And his dreams are now flourishing. So can we just give a person a chance and stop beating them down every day with the thought that they are just poor because they're lazy? Senator Rand Paul, could we get you to be for a jobs program, a training program? Because most of the jobs that are out there, the people are just not equipped with the skills to fill those jobs. So if we plead with Senator Rand Paul not to think about 2016 and if Hillary Rodham Clinton is going to run for president against you, now you want to investigate her husband. Is she responsible for the libido of President Clinton? No, she's not. Which leads me to Mike Huckabee. So I think Senator Rand Paul is trying to take away our thoughts or our memories from the stupidity of Mike Huckabee. Oh, what is it? Daddy sugar, sugar daddy who, what? How many of you women out there have libidos that are out of control? Mine isn't, and mine has never been, even though people might think that you have a raging libido. And most women, after they have children, their libido actually slows down. That is medical fact. So I'm not quite sure if Mike Huckabee has ever been a woman. Does he know anything about female libido? And my question again is, why are Republican men so obsessed with the vaginas of women? Why is that? As we ponder and we think about the insults, oh, the Lady Mayor. So what a year this is beginning to be. Chris Christie from New Jersey, a governor that most of us liked, but most of us question, like myself, when I saw him just deflate that mother that asked him, Why is it that your children are going to private school while you're cutting 6,000 teachers from us? And he was so brazen in telling her, it's none of your business. Governor, it is her business. She's a resident of your state. And the teacher that he pointed his finger in her face, while his wife smiled on the side. Those things give you pause and make you wonder, is this the way he operates with everyone? How big is a governor's office so that you have no idea what's going on in your business? How is it that happens? I simply ask you to please not call my number if you're calling the wrong number. People, look at the numbers you're dialing before you dial. Seriously. People just need to take time and take care in what they do and what they're doing. So we asked Governor Christie, is it plausible that your inner circle can be involved in such a massive lane closure on the most busiest bridge in the world, not just in the United States, and you have no idea? Is that plausible? Is it plausible for your lieutenant governor to say, I didn't say that? I don't recall the conversation going that way? A diary is a powerful thing. You see, Oprah Winfrey encouraged us to journal. Sometimes we forget because, but when major things happen in your life, you tend to want to write it down so you can remember. And it's always good to tell someone else so that person can corroborate your story, to say, yes, she told me and she told me and she told me. So just maybe she's not lying. Because if she told me right after the incident happened, then my golly, she is making it up from the start. So shall we just look at all this and wonder about politicians? Bullies, some are calling. Paid to play or play to pay, paid to play, yes. And you don't know this guy very well, you haven't seen him in a while, but yet a photo turns up with you and him together. Incredible. The things that politicians ask us to believe is totally, sometimes, impossible. So as I come to you today, I ask for you to look into yourselves and see how much of this lie you're going to absorb, or how badly do you want to know the truth to all this. I guess in time we'll find out the truth. I'm sure we will. But how do politicians lie? Bob McDonald from Virginia stands up after his indictment and say, I did not do this. The federal government is overreaching. My golly. I just wonder. I lie in my bed and I just wonder about all of this. Do they think we're all stupid? We're all dumbbells, or we're just all lazy to use our brain and figure out things? What seems a little impossible? And what seems a little too good to be true? Let us ponder that today as we go into our new year. And let us really digest the word inequality. What does that truly mean? How can you help a brother or a sister out Is it that the rich just always want to be richer? How much money can you spend? How many cars can you drive? How many houses can you live in at one time? And remember, my always saying is, when we die, we all individually get the same amount of real estate in the earth. No more, no less. Some a little more fancy, some a little more elaborate, but my golly, we all get the same size. Was it 6 feet deep? There's not 8 feet deep or 10 feet deep. It's all about 6 feet deep. And we all must die. So what do we do with this? Or we just continue this year again to talk about inequality. We just consider the folks at McDonald's working for a non-living wage. And a lot of people just did not know what that means. That means that you're working, but you're unable to pay your bills. And you're working hard too. And you're not lazy. You're going out there. Some of you have 2, 3 jobs. So what do we do? We're going to take a break and come back in just a slither of a moment. We'll be back. This is the Diana Wright Show Live, and we thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. Hello, everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book. Available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Okay, we're back and you're watching me live. This is the Diana Wright Show. Thank you for joining us from around the world and in the United States. Reminding you that April 30th is International I Love Me Day. We want to celebrate it around the world. We want to spread the word, and we want to give it to everyone. Because I truly believe that when you begin each and every day loving who you are, you can conquer the world. Because remember, love and forgiveness solves everything. So we want to start now again, going back. Let's deal with birth control for a minute. Because you see, there's an obsession about abortion and birth control. Did they not listen to Pope Francis, what he says? We need to stop being obsessed by these things and deal with income inequality and the poor. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But I have a question. Do men use birth control? I think they do. So why is it that we're always talking about birth control as it affects women? Isn't it also true that men's libido are raging all the time? Isn't it also true that men contribute to a pregnancy? Isn't that true? I think they do contribute to a pregnancy. A woman is totally unable to be pregnant by herself. So should we be speaking to our young men and men in general to be able to zip their pants and control their libido, I think that would be a very good place to start. Because you see, it is important for us to not always put the burden on women for everything that happens. Oh yes, they get left with the babies and they have to raise them. And then we think they're lazy because they want to be on welfare and they ooh. But shouldn't we also think about what is the responsibility of men as it concerns birth control and raging libidos? I don't meet a lot of women who are really libido crazy and, sexed up, and apart from, maybe some people on those reality shows who just want to have sex. I really have not met women like that. Are there any women out there? Please let me know. 561. Yeah, I'll give you the number. We'll just give you that number right now. Put it up there. 561-228-1921. That's the number. Let us know how many libido crazy women are on this planet. And how many men are going to take responsibility for birth control also? When I go out and give talks, I realize that 13-year-olds are having babies. Now, a 13-year-old is a child in any part of this world. So how do they become pregnant, might you ask? Oh yes, they started seeing their period, and they happen to have sex with one young boy who just didn't think he can make anybody pregnant. Or one young girl who didn't have an orgasm and kinda not so sure that she would get pregnant. Hello? Are we truly gonna divide the responsibility for this? And now, as we know, young women are not safe on college campuses, so you cherish and nurture your daughter to get to college. And now you have to worry about her being raped on campus? Again, men have respect for women and they're saying no. What is the rape mentality in a guy that makes him want to get sex by force from someone who doesn't want him? Those are the things that we should be thinking about in this nation. Instead of Mike Huckabee blaming women and talking about he's not having a war on women, he's having a war for women. I don't want you fighting for me, Mr. Huckabee, because my libido is not over-exerted at any time. And there is no Uncle Sugar that I want the government to be for me. And I suspect I'm speaking for a lot of women around the world, specifically in the United States, because I'm thinking that he's talking to the women of the U.S. Uncle Sugar? That's how you see the government? So that's the reason why Republicans could just shut it down and figure that we're too dependent on Uncle Sugar? Wow. How small are we in our thoughts? How limited? And how much do we continue to blame women and young girls? Let's begin this day, this new year, by encouraging our young men and men in general to have respect for women. If a woman does not want you sexually, it's her right to say no. And whether she says it in a little voice, no, stop, or she says no, it is still no. And why don't we try to teach men to control their libidos and their penis? Zip up their pants. Yeah? we do that? I am suspecting that this is not someone who wants to be on my show, so I'm gonna just disable that call. So we thank you once again for joining us on this, The Diana Wright Show. Wherever you are around the world, I would like you to ask yourself these questions because it is important. It is important for us, if we are mothers and we have sons, we need and we must get those sons to respect women, to love and cherish women, and when they say no, it is absolutely no. So let's take a break and come back to you in just a moment. We'll be back. Hello everyone. I am just asking you from around the world and in the United States to partner with the Diana Wright Show, sponsor the Diana Wright Show, or advertise on the Diana Wright Show. To do so, please call 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Please sponsor, partner with us, and advertise with us to make the show a big hit, just like you do by liking us on Facebook and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much. Don't forget the number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, we invite you to invite me to be at your event as a speaker and to tell you about my new book, Deadly Negligence. And so we encourage you to partner with us right here on the Diana Wright Show. Advertise with us and sponsor the Diana Wright Show. 561-228-1921. Thank you so much. Okay, we're back and you're listening and watching the Diana Wright Show live right here. And we welcome you from around the world and in the United States, and we thank you so much for joining us. I just want to come to the big one, the pot, marijuana. It's now the hot buy in Colorado and Texas. Governor Perry is now thinking about making pot legal in his state because he sees the money being made in Colorado. It's always about the money, isn't it? We just want to see money being made and then we jump on the bandwagon. How about that? Yeah. So, Governor Perry, Texas might be next. What about Florida? I wonder. Have you given any thought to immigration and what's going to happen with that this year? Everything is on stall. So the president is calling this the year of action. Yeah? He's going to use his executive powers, which I hope he does use, because there has to be something somewhere that says if you are the president of the United States and you can't get your jobs bill for employing the people of your country, you can't get immigration passed. Now they're talking about the debt ceiling again. I hope they're just joking about that. You can't just get people back to work. You can't raise the minimum wage to a minimum of $15. They're talking about $10. What can $10 do for anyone? $10 an hour? That is simply still not a living wage. And if I heard right, someone, I think it was Ed Schultz, who calculated that it would be $22 if the minimum wage was going up with inflation. So if we can't make it 22, can we just make it 15? So at least if people work 2 jobs they can afford and do have a living wage. Income inequality. Opportunity. And why is it that these people believe that they should be earning so much more than the man at the bottom who's sweeping the floor? Oh yes, we accept the fact that there will always be the wealthy. And that's the reason the Bible talks about the poor all the time, because the assumption is there will always be somebody that is poor. So, $15 an hour? Well, $10 an hour. And when are we getting to that? I hear 2016. Some states are taking it into their own hands. And what do we really expect people to do? If you have a child and you get up every day and be down on that child and say they won't be anything, my golly, they won't be anything. But if you nurture that child and you give that child the opportunities that they need to learn, the atmosphere, the parents, yes, I do believe in 2 parents at a time. And I believe especially now that young women should look to education and not the seat of their panties to get them to where they want to go. And crazy talk. Not everybody needs to be a mother. Did you know that? Like Crazy Kenya Moore on Atlanta Housewife? She's obsessed with being a mother. What about taking care of your brain and your crazy before you start to try to bring another person into your environment that you can corrupt and make crazy too? No, we don't need any more crazy Kenyas walking around. So, we follow the money, but could we simply get our leaders, our congresspeople, our senators, and indeed President Obama, to get people from out of their cars? People are still sleeping in their cars, going to food banks to eat their only meal of the day. Oh wow. How do we just even process that? How many years since 2008? And then people are talking about, oh, the housing market is recovering. It is only recovering for the foreigners who are coming here to the United States to buy the houses for cash. Is that what you call recovering? So again, the wealthy is buying up the houses. So that can't be a normal market. A normal market is a mom and pop working hard, saving their down payment, making sure their credit is intact. Go out and seek a mortgage that has a pre-approval and then go look a house. How about that? And we talk about the housing market recovering. That is a big lie. How many people in America can go out and buy a house cash for $200,000, $300,000, even $100,000, even $50,000? How many people can do that? And we talk about the recovery in the housing market. How many times are we going to lie to our people? Now we see that the stock market plummeted last week by over 300 points. Well, there's a saying that my grandmother always reminded me of. What goes up must come down. And the people that you meet on the way up and you kick in their butts, you will meet them on the way down. Keep that in mind. It's important. It's important for us to be mindful of others. It's important for us to speak the truth. It is important for us to move forward beyond hate, beyond malice, beyond vengeance, beyond revenge. And yes, we got to get to the gun thing. The gun thing? Oh yes, I guess that young man who decided to go to the mall with his weapon, shotgun that he bought legally. Oh yeah, Remember, we are the country that we're free. We can go buy our guns and shoot anybody we want to. So he just went and did just that. And then they find his diary that states that he was unhappy with his life. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're unhappy with your life, you need to look within yourself and not go kill somebody else and take away their lives. What cowardice action is that? So we see now that everybody's wondering, what do we do about all our malls now? And yeah, the weather is killing us. So what do we do about Super Bowl Sunday? Is it going to be Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl Monday, Super Bowl Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what? Saturday? No one knows. Because there's a mighty one that controls the weather. And only through God and His Son Jesus we will know whether there will be a Super Bowl Sunday. So when we think that man can do everything, there are certain things that man just simply cannot control. And the weather is one of them. Dying is one of them. The final moments, only God decides if you live or die. Yeah. So, I just want to ask people to just take time and think and trust their instincts about stuff. And young women, when you're walking around campus, you've gotten to college, you've worked hard, you've gotten there. Just be aware of your surroundings. Don't run into people. Seek God's protection as you go around campus. Don't find yourself in dark corners of your school. And not because you go to a Christian school, you believe that everyone there are Christian. No. Please don't think that. There are children that come from wonderful homes and who are wonderful people, but then the devil takes over their mind sometimes and they do crazy things. So yes, keep that in mind as you go about your journey at school, whether you live on campus or you don't, and especially when you live on campus and you're taking those walks in the night, in the evenings. You need to be careful. And young men, please exercise your own self-respect and self-esteem and self-confidence, because if you're raping a woman, you have none of that. I'm here to tell you. And you don't have power either. You're a coward. So moving on to some pleasant things now. Like the Jamaica bobsled team has qualified again for the games in Sochi, Russia, that is. So they practice on Earth and then they go to Sochi. They're from a warm climate, yet they qualify. Is that clear to you that you can do anything that you put your mind to? So congratulations to the bobsled team and the veteran bobsledder who had to come out of retirement to captain the team. We congratulate you and we applaud you for your effort and your tenacity for making it to Sochi, Russia, the games, the winter games, even though you have no snow. That's incredible. And that's my encouragement to young people. Whatever you can imagine, you can do it. But you got to put the work in. You can't just tell me you're going to pray and you're not going to study and you're going to pass your exam. You have to study. You have to read the book. And I got some tips for all you college students too. Keep remembering that when you have a chapter to read in your book, your textbook, you need to look at all the headings first, go through all the headings of that chapter, Then go to the end of the chapter, because they always have questions at the end of those chapters. Look at those questions. Then go back and try to read the chapter, and in your mind, you're seeking the answers to the questions that you saw at the end of the chapter. I promise you, when you read, when you study, you will remember. And don't do this one time. I have a friend, a Jewish friend, who tells me 100 times is what you do to make sure you remember something. If you haven't studied it, read it, understood it, and memorized it, you still don't know it. So I don't want to hear young people telling me about, oh, I'm praying to God, and oh, God is going to open up my mind. No, God is going to help you to remember when you have put in the work. So you need to put the work in. Put the sweat equity in, and you will reap all the rewards. Yes, you will. So let's take another break and come back in just a slither of a moment. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on the Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Okay, we're back. Welcome back. This is the Diana Wright Show Live. We thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. And we move now to Mr. Glenn Beck. What a year this is going to be. Mr. Glenn Beck is now a kinder, gentler, apologetic person. He is now the owner of Blaze Network, and he's asking you to forgive him for dividing the country with hate. And he seems so sympathetic. Oh yeah, he looks like he's really sorry. Truly sorry. I regret for dividing the nation with my hate, because guess what? I am now rich. I can start my own network, Blaze. And I'm going to apologize to you because I simply want you to forgive me, because I want you to subscribe to my network. Because after I fooled you into thinking that I believe that President Obama is a racist, and I believe that America is divided in two by white and black and Hispanic and other, but now that I've earned all my money from that hate that I spewed all these years, and I've managed to make enough money to start my own network called Blaze, which I need you to actually watch and subscribe to. So now I will apologize. Okay, I apologize for stirring hate, for stirring up the Tea Partiers, for letting them be so mad and hateful towards President Barack Hussein Obama. Mr. Glenn Beck, do you truly believe that we're that dumb? Apology accepted, you're forgiven, but do we really believe what you're saying is what your heart is really wanting us to believe? Not so fast. There is no way that you can use so many years to spew all that hate, dividing this nation, and expect us to take one apology? I'm not so sure about that. And when you listen to all these conservative guys on radio, you know, it's all for shock value. They're being paid for doing what they're doing. They're being paid for spewing hate and lies and vengeance. Just like the NRA. What do you think, Mr. Napier is just talking? He's protecting his income, his $1 million income. And guns are not going to go away because people are getting rich from having guns and manufacturing guns. So you think they're going to want to slow that down? No. Let us open up our minds and utilize our brains. There was a photo going around on the internet, on Facebook, showing Bruce Golding, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, and the current Prime Minister of Jamaica, Portia Simpson, hugging at the mall or in the store, wherever they were. Everyone in Jamaica needs to see that and understand that when you're fighting over politicians, they're friends. They're not enemies. They stir you up to get your vote. But you need to be sensible about this. You have people having conversations talking about you can't wear red or you can't wear green. If you are a JLP, you can't wear red because you're somehow you're betraying your color and your party. Nonsense. You must agree to disagree. Everyone must have their own political preference without fear of being vilified or crucified or, in some cases, killed for it. Can we just simply agree to disagree? That would be a very good thing for us to aim for this year. And whatever dreams you have for 2014, please speak it, believe it, and act on it. Get away all the negatives in your ear. Kill the devil because he's dead. He is a lie and he's just dead. Let him not corrupt your mind with what you can't do, but what you can do. Because this is a year of action, says our president. Let us be mindful of those who are less fortunate. And as you look at our politicians, you just look at their hypocrisy. Look at Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is in the Senate saying one thing, he's killing Obamacare, yet he is in his own state of Kentucky promoting health care. So, how does that work? Wow, what a country. What a people. What hypocrisy. Can we just speak truth and let it set us free? Can we just do that? I want you to consider this. Are you exceptional? Because you see, if you are exceptional, as T.D. Jakes reminds us, you have no place with ordinary people. You will not find comfort. You will only find conflict when you're exceptional and you're among ordinary people. They will never be able to accept your exceptional views, exceptional dreams and hopes and beliefs because they're ordinary people. So don't beat up yourself if you don't fit in because you're exceptional. Because you have morals, because you have dreams beyond dreams. Let us all aim to be exceptional. Let us all aim to love who we are and celebrate ourselves on April 30th, 2014. Let us do that. Let us not continue to chase the almighty dollar everything we do. But whatever we do, we should do it because that is our purpose. And that is what we want to do. And we believe that what we do will help and win hearts and touch hearts for those who are watching or listening or just being among us? Who can you influence today without tearing them down for being poor? Who can you be mindful of that you can help to come out of their depression and their deep, dark hole that they might just be in? Who? Is there anyone in your sphere of life that you can pull up by their bootstraps by just giving them an opportunity? An opportunity is all each and every one of us need. An opportunity for someone to watch your video on YouTube and call you and give you that job, that contract, that chance to be who you want to be. Wow. I want to pause and think about friends right now, because as you go through this new year, we need to not use that word so loosely. Yeah. What does a friend really mean? Isn't a friend the person that you can always count on? That you can tell your secrets to and you know they're not going to share it with anyone else? Isn't it a friend that will always lend a helping hand and never always looking for you to do? Now, you should never have a friend who you call all the time or you are texting all the time and they just never initiate the first call or the first text. Or the friends who are too busy to say, hello, how are you? Are you okay? I'm busy, but I'm thinking about you. What kind of friend do you want to be? What kind of friend are you? And what do you expect from a friend? You don't have to be talking to your friend every single day of life. Or you're on the phone 24/7. No. But in your mind, you should know that that person who you're calling your friend will be there for you no matter what. Whether you're up or you're down. Whether you have a show on television or you don't. Whether you're a movie star or you're not. Whether you're rich or poor. Whether you're a billionaire or just living from paycheck to paycheck and worried about the fact that you're one paycheck away from being homeless. Wow. I'd like to leave you with those lingering thoughts today. Income inequality, getting our government to increase the minimum wage, pass immigration so people can come out of the shadows and stop hiding and seeking. And young people can go to school and feel comfortable not looking over their shoulders and thinking that immigration is coming to sweep them up. And people are going to be deported and families are divided. Can we get jobs on the table? Can we perfect healthcare for everyone so that people are not going broke? You go to the emergency room for 3 hours and your bill is $7,000? How does that work? Who can afford that? Single payer, free healthcare for every American. Everyone in the United States of America. Should that be our dreams and our resolutions for 2014? Let us have a heart. And if you're rich, don't think that people are hating you because you're rich. People are mad because they are poor and the rich are looking down on them and thinking they're lazy when they're truly not lazy. They're just seeking an opportunity. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the Diana Wright Show and we're back. We're live. And we're here to encourage you to love who you are, to be the best you that you can be. In the name of the Mighty One, Jesus. Have a blessed day and a blessed week. And we'll do this again tomorrow, right here, live. It's the Diana Wright Show.